have in their mind how things are going to go, and then wrenches get thrown into plans. You know what I mean? And
it makes you stronger.
Yeah, the path of success is never straight. Hey guys, how are ya? We are back, and this is Nick Callagher and Mitros with Paper Trails of Albemarle Paper Supply, and just wanted to let you guys know we are back with episode 5 of our podcast. We've got a ton of great feedback over the last couple episodes with the guests, obviously our first 2 episodes about our paper company and the restaurant industry here in North Carolina. First episodes were just kind of how we started the company, and it was more myself kind of, chatting while in the car, doing some sales. Then our last 2 episodes, which have our first couple of guests, and now we have our 3rd guest, and some of you guys may or may not know this guy, but this is my business partner, John. And so I wanted to introduce him to everybody, the actual Paper Trails Nation, that you guys know who my business partner is, who does all the logistics, warehousing, operation, purchasing for the company. John's, we obviously he's my, we're family, we're first cousins, and we started the business together. And so just wanted to have him on, and maybe we could talk about and kind of go back and forth about, just some memories from starting the company, 12 years ago now, and I think it'll be a lot of fun. And so anyway, welcome to the podcast, John.
Thank you.
Officially. So,
yes.
Just so you guys know, this isn't scripted. This is here actually in my office, and so we just kind of, I told John yesterday, hey, we're gonna do a podcast, in the morning, and so just be ready. And he said, ready for what? And I said, just be ready to talk. And so it's just gonna be nothing scripted, very authentic, so we're not sure what we're gonna say, but we'll talk about, I guess maybe just the early years. But so I guess let's chat, John, from the beginning, man. What I guess I've already had a couple of episodes of my thoughts on starting the company. What is maybe some things that you remember? And so you were, I guess, just to recap, just to let you guys know, John and I have 4 years apart. I'm 4 years older than John. We grew up, both of our dads, obviously own restaurants together, and we grew up right next door to each other. And so, we
plenty of memories together.
Plenty of memories playing basketball with, my brother, your brother as well.
Mm-hmm.
And so you were graduating high school when I was graduating college.
Right.
And let's kind of maybe pick it up from there. So you're graduating high school. I know you went to Greece to play soccer for a little bit. You came back.
Tried that out.
Kind of rehabbing some injuries and things of that sort. And so I remember your dad was the one who actually had the idea for the paper company. If you guys if you guys didn't watch our first couple episodes, John's dad, we were Thanksgiving dinner of 2008, right. And my Uncle Jimmy, John's dad, had come up with the idea of us starting a paper company because our parents own a couple of warehouses next to our restaurant here in Albemarle, and one of the properties, one of the warehouses, they had as an income, rented out for an income, and the other one was kind of storage. And so he had talked about us maybe doing some paper products. And so I don't remember if you were there for the conversation or how the conversation even started, or what do you remember from like the very, very beginning? Do you remember us talking about starting the paper biz? I don't even remember.
It just started as an idea. My dad was asking me what I wanted to do with my life since I was done with high school. I went to Greece, played soccer, that didn't work out, came back. Hadn't started college yet because semester had already started. He was asking me, do I want to go to school? What do I want to be? And I'm like, you know what? I'm not really feeling the school, but I told him I'd give it a shot. So I signed up for some classes for the spring, for contracting license, to build houses and stuff. But the market was pretty horrible.
2008, yeah.
Pretty horrible at the time. So I told him I'd just go see how I like it, see what's going on. And he was like, well, while you're doing that, how about you and Nick trying to sell some paper products to us and to some family friends that own restaurants, and we were like, sell paper products. We didn't know the first thing about paper products. We're like,
it's pretty interesting. Even though our parents own restaurants, we didn't even know what our parents used.
Right.
Like what size cups they, like we didn't know anything.
Yeah,
like
I mean,
anything.
I just knew they had to-go boxes, cups.
Yeah, just the products.
Lids, napkins. So, real quick, we started selling products to my dad and to some family friends. We would, get up, go down, print some invoices, pull the orders, load up the trucks all in the same day.
Yeah, we had like 0 customers. We had like 4 customers, 5 customers. We bought a laptop from Office Depot,
QuickBooks Office.
I remember negotiating
warehouse.
for a printer. I remember this is the kind of person that I am. Imagine walking into an Office Depot and negotiating for a printer. Like,
yeah, I mean,
who does that?
I mean, we had to look for the best deals we could. We didn't have any money. I mean, we were literally working in the mornings, selling paper products and making cold calls, and then going straight to the restaurant
to work to actually make some money
at 4:00. Yeah, that was how we made money for the first 5 years of us.
At least 4 years. 4
or 5 years. We were working double time, and as I remember, I took 2 semesters at Rowan Cabarrus. I took some night classes. That way, in the morning, I could work, do deliveries. I would
and like both of us would do everything.
Yeah, we would wait.
Like we would get orders. We would print out the invoices. When I say invoice, I'm talking about like 5, 10 invoices. Like it was nothing. We would load up the truck together.
Yeah.
And then we go deliveries, both of us.
And then come back. I remember a couple days a week, I would get back to Salisbury just in time for one of my night classes, and I would park the box truck in the parking lot.
School?
At school?
That's funny.
I would go to school with the box truck instead of going back home and grabbing my car, because I would just take my stuff with me, and I would go to class and get back in the truck. And
I mean, when we tell you guys, we literally bootstrapped. I mean, I think the only pieces of furniture that we have ever bought in 12 years of the company is I bought 4 or 5 kind of leather swivel chairs from a motel that was going out of business in Statesville while I was doing sales in our 1998 black Tacoma truck that I used to drive around, right, to do sales in. And I bought them for like $20 a pop, and I bought 4 or 5 chairs and threw them in like the bed of the truck. But I mean, desks, I mean, everything, literally everything. We kind of just, we didn't have a big lump of money, to start the company. And so, we had a little small loan that we had taken from our parents, to buy a little inventory and to buy the truck. And that's it, And I guess the reason why we're telling everybody that is just so everybody knows if anybody has any ambitions, to start a business. Number one, it'll take some time. Be patient. It'll take a couple of years to get the ball rolling. But number two, like it's okay to not have a lump sum of money. Like it's fine. I mean, be humble about it. It's not a big deal. And so yeah, what else, man? What else, John? Anything else you remember from the early days of us?
Mondays. Mondays was our...
Don't judge us. We weren't professionals yet.
This was when we were first starting, so we didn't really have a route on Monday, or we would get some orders on Monday, but we had a thing called Movie Mondays, where we would pick a movie, we'd watch a movie
while at the warehouse.
Waiting for customers to call, or we would cold call, and we'd throw a movie on and just...
Oh my God. We're not proud of this, just so you guys know. We should have been out there knocking on doors selling, but we didn't know. Like we didn't know what it took to build a business. Like we didn't know that.
Yeah, this was a 18, 19-year-old me and
21, 22
year old Nick, and thinking back 12 years when at the beginning Nick said we've been doing this for 12 years, it's
wild.
It flew by, man. It's wild the way that we've grown to where we're at now. It started with just you and me doing everything. Like you said, we were printing invoices in my basement.
In the very beginning.
In the very beginning, we would, I
have a makeshift office
in my basement. I would go print the invoices in the morning, grab the invoices, come down to Albemarle and pull the orders and deliver it. And now we have
18 people, including us. 18 people.
So 18, and
it's pretty humbling, man. It's pretty humbling knowing that we got
seven vehicles that we use to deliver.
Trucks, vans, box trucks, the whole thing, and so it's pretty cool. But it took time. It took over a decade, So I just know that businesses will grow with time, and you have to learn, and you got to put effort. As we continue to grow, we started kind of separating our roles. I started veering a little bit more, and kind of being self-aware, knowing what you're good at. I love talking to people. I love being in front of people. I love kind of, experiencing that part of the business. John's better at, negotiating, purchasing, stuff like that. He's a stickler when it comes to, paying. And here's the awesome thing, even if you guys choose to, find a business partner or get in business with somebody, find somebody that's good at things that you're not good at. You know what I mean? And so John and I couldn't be more opposite when it comes to running a business, or even maybe the financial part of the business. John's very tight, very just, if we don't need it, we don't need it, we're not buying it.
That's right.
Versus I'm, a little bit more, just liberal about that kind of stuff. When it comes to investing in business, I will buy the absolute best. If it's a computer, if it's, whatever we need, an iPad, just anything. In internet, I will pay for faster internet for the business, to operate more smoothly. So, but yeah, I think that's good, to have, because it balances us out. We're not overspending on stuff. We're not, but we also, if we needed something, we'll buy it.
Right.
So we got Movie Monday. We got orders, deliveries. What else? What else do you remember from the beginning?
Just a few weeks ago, I had one of our vendors come back in here, or that I have a pretty good relationship. And it's funny that we talk about the old warehouse. Every time we get together and we talk, he was one of the first guys that came and saw us at our first warehouse, where we had no running water, which means no restrooms, and
no sink, no
nothing.
sink,
no nothing. So I remember.
So when we say it was a little shell of a building, it was just that. It was 2 bay doors, no doors.
No office.
We created the door. We built a door.
Yep, we built the door to go in because
we put a little window so we could actually see if anybody was coming into the warehouse. Because at first it was just a wholesale business where we just delivered. But then I remember, I think some random lady came in from a church
and
asked if we were open, and I think my sales instincts kicked in and was like, yeah, buy whatever you want. You know what I mean?
Take a look around, what you want. So
even our register that we still have to this day in our we have a little retail store now. But that lady was actually the first one who initiated our little retail store, because once we saw that people were interested in buying, to-go boxes for fundraisers, or things for the church, or things for your office, paper towels, sanitizers, things like that, we realized there's a little bit of a market, because there's nobody around here that sells that kind of stuff.
Right.
Closest would be, Concord, half an hour away, 40 minutes away at a Sam's Club or something.
For sure.
And so we kind of had a little makeshift retail store in the warehouse. But I remember not even knowing how to run the register. We had to learn how to run the register, because we found a register in the warehouse that my dad had at one of his old restaurants. And so we had to kind of figure out how that worked and set the tax properly, so that was interesting.
Yeah, but coming back to
water,
to the water thing, the the vendor comes in, we have a meeting talking about selling us different products and whatnot. And then before he goes to leave, he said, "Hey, where's your restroom?" And I'm like, "Follow me." He's like, "Follow you?" I was like, "Yeah, I got to take you next door to the restaurant. We don't have a restroom here." He just looks at me. He's like, "You guys don't have a restroom here?" I'm like, "No, sir." So yeah, that's pretty humbling. Every time he comes in here, he's like, it's our little joke. He's like, "I'm gonna hit your restroom real quick before we get started," you know. So it's pretty funny, you know. Where we started with what we didn't have and what we have now. It's humbled us from the get go, because we didn't get started with, you know, all the flashy things which nobody starting their own business doesn't have, you know. And
yeah,
you know,
I mean,
important.
sometimes people do start with extravagant things, nice offices, but if you don't, it's fine. It's part of your story.
Yeah.
It's, you know, it's what makes your story unique, and it's what should bring belief to other people that want to start a business. And so, you know, just be patient. It'll take some time, you know, to get things going, to create an income. But anyway, so we had a small little warehouse. You know, we continued to grow. We ended up, once we realized that we needed somebody out there kind of full time, I think John stayed more at the warehouse. I started going out, learning how to, you know, a sales approach and a sales style, and so started picking up more accounts. You know, It was mostly kind of local. You know, it was more Albemarle, Salisbury. You know, our warehouse was in Albemarle, but, you know, we both live in the Salisbury area. Yep. And so like that's kind of where our, you know, business kind of started. And then we ended up, you know, John used to deliver, I used to do sales, and then we hired a driver, you know, to do some of the deliveries, so then you could be here at the warehouse full time.
Right.
And then it just progressed. And honestly, just slow progression. You know, we ended up hiring my brother when he finished college. And so he came along. He was probably maybe one of our first handful of employees, my brother George. And that's it. You know, one thing leads to another. Once, you know, like I said, I mean, sometimes you may not know kind of the end result, but just take one step at a time. You know, figure things out. Be conservative. You know, make sure decisions you make aren't going to put you out or, you know, strain the business. I mean, I think that's another thing that we did really good is that we always put the business first.
Always.
We didn't. Even whenever we were making a little bit of income, we didn't pay ourselves anything crazy. It was just enough to pay some bills.
Right.
You know, and even as of recent, the last couple of years, I mean, we ended up even cutting our salary a little bit back to make sure the business was healthy enough, you know.
To keep that money flow. That's very important, you know. So, you know, a lot of reasons businesses fail is, you know, people get money hungry. They see that they're collecting and they pay themselves more than they're putting back into the business.
Yep.
And, you know, the money flow gets staggered, you know, and the
cash flow gets tight. You don't have money to pay the bills. You can't pay the employees. You start, you know, cutting people's hours. You start cutting back on, you know, quality of product, whether it's food, whether it's paper, whatever it is.
Right. And
then, you know, that'll lead to,
you know, customers not being happy with the product, complaining, shopping around, and end up buying from someone else. So, you know, our goal is always, you know, having quality products.
100%.
And, you know, just giving the service that no one else will. You know, if we make a mistake, we'll fix it
100%.
Same day, next day in the morning. We got some customers that can vouch for that. We take good care of all our customers, so that's one of our big things, you know. We wouldn't be where we're at without our customers.
Yep.
And that's the truth, you know.
Shout out to you guys. So
yeah, all you guys who help and support us, we appreciate you guys from the bottom of our hearts, you know. So, but I mean, it's
a fun time. It's a journey for sure.
Yeah, I mean, every day's something new, and it's a challenge, but we always find the solution. We don't complain about it. We just get it done.
If you could go back and redo anything, what do you think you would do? And like I said, I don't know the answer to this question, but if you could go back and maybe shift something, do something, you know, anything you think that,
you know,
would have helped us out.
Something that would would have helped us out is if maybe if I would have worked somewhere to get some more experience, because I'm telling you guys, I came straight from high school. I was 18 years old. I knew nothing about...
I can promise you, no employer would have allowed us to have a movie one day.
Like, I'm telling you that, like, for real, I remember, we had CSI marathons, man. Our boy, CSI Las Vegas.
CSI Las Vegas. Grissom and those guys.
Hey, we learned a lot from them. We could have became detectives before we were,
became paper supply owners.
Exactly. So I mean, yeah.
Oh my Lord.
Learning the ropes from somebody would have been good, but
it would have sped up the process of us actually making money.
Yeah.
That would, I mean, instead of taking 4 or 5 years, it may have been 2 to 3 years.
So I mean, we didn't even know different size cups. we knew a 10-ounce cup and a 16-ounce cup because that's what my dad used, and I would get requests for different size cups, and I'm like, let me look into that for you, and I found out there were so many different size cups,
anything and everything.
Yeah, and cool story is for my dad's. Once I started learning more about products. My dad was using a 10-ounce cup for a kid's cup and a 16-ounce cup for a regular cup, and he would have to buy 2 different lids because the lid for the 10-ounce was different than the 16-ounce. And as I was learning more, I was like, hey, Dad, the 12-ounce cup has the same lid as a 16-ounce cup. What if you just bump up the kid's cup to a 12, get rid of one SKU from the restaurant, because I would always get calls saying, hey, we forgot to order the 10-ounce cup lid. Can you bring me one? It's like, okay. Then I that's one thing that I like doing for customers is
100%.
If I see a product that they're using and there's a better solution to help them, that's what I like doing for customers.
I mean, even if it means we sell one less product, if we can make it a little more efficient for them, right? So then it'll make their life a little easier. I mean, we just realized that when our customers do well and they have more money in their bank account than on their shelf in paper products, they will have more money to run their business. And so we're all about making sure our customers do well, so then we're in business together longer and that partnership exists forever. And they appreciate that.
For sure. Just like Mikey from Go Burrito, he was never in a restaurant business. So whenever a paper guy comes and explains to him different ways different options for different products, people, starting their own business appreciate, help and stuff, just like we needed help. I had, some mentors now that from other manufacturers, reps, and stuff like that who see other,
Guy does help us. Advice,
other businesses and how they work, and everybody needs help. I don't know everything, so Nick doesn't know everything, and we try to pick everybody's brain little by little. Every year we learn something new. Every day we learn something new.
That's true. There is no end. There is no point that you will know everything. We can learn something from every employee, every vendor, customers. But yeah, it's been fun. It's been quite. So I think going back, I think that'll be good. I don't know, John. Maybe kind of last parting thoughts. What advice would you give? I don't know, your 18-year-old self.
Man.
I don't know, 11, 12 years ago. How old are you now?
No, I'm 30 now.
30. So 30. So 30-year-old John. I don't know for sure. Sorry. I don't know if it was 29 or 30. So 30-year-old John, if you went back and gave your 18-year-old self some advice about business, or or how about some advice for any young person that's maybe finishing school that wants to own a business? Like what? They want to start a food truck. They want to start a catering company. They want to start a bakery. They want to start any business, an app. They want to, I don't know, what are some things that you think that you've learned in your 11, 12 years of just, and we obviously have a long way to go. I mean, we have not arrived by any means, but I don't know. How about that? Well, what do you think about some advice for somebody young,
the most
green
important,
behind the ears?
Yeah, the most important of any business that you're trying to start, it'll work for anything, is just stay positive and motivated. No matter how hard it gets, it'll get better.
Yeah.
If you put in the time and the work, it's always gonna produce in your favor. There was times where me and Nick were like, man, we're not moving right now. We're kind of stalemate, and we're like, let's just give it another 2 months, and we kept pushing ourselves. We would talk each other to keep moving, and we just, you have to have a long-term goal and short-term goals, and we always had that short-term goal for hey, let's hit this in 2 months, and let's just keep going, and it just slowly it'll get there. If you're hoping to make a quick buck in 6 months, if you're thinking, oh, it's not going to happen, it won't happen that quick. You just gotta let it keep going. We're 12 years in it, and we're still going.
I feel like we're just now starting. I feel like just the last couple of years, we've really found our groove.
Right. We just hit our stride with everything. We're at the point where, okay, we know the business well enough to where we can start different things and
make bigger moves,
make a little bit more risks.
I mean, like calculated, obviously,
right?
But things that we think we can do. I mean, I remember just real fast, because you will have people doubt, you will have people not understand. I mean, I remember even our parents, 4 years in, we're still not making money. We're making $500 a month, $1,000 a month. I mean, we're barely, able to pay things. And I remember our parents thinking I mean, are you sure this is going to happen? I remember your dad coming into our office and being like, what, you guys could run one of our restaurants and start making some incredible income. Is this going to take off? Is this going to work? You've been doing it 4 years now. And, I think just inside, I just knew, I just felt the momentum was coming, and I felt things were going to start turning. And, and so that's awesome advice, man. I think that's good. Just telling everybody to, when you got people doubting, when you got people not understanding what you're doing, that's fine. It's not a big deal. And it could be from the closest people that your family, friends, things like that. Strangers kind of looking at you. What are you doing? Working in the morning, working in the evenings. You guys work too much. What are you trying to do?
Yeah, and there's definitely sacrifices you have to do, so one of my sacrifices was, working endless hours, not going out all the time, and, spending money like I could, but, I knew that would happen in the future for me, so I sacrificed some things in the beginning. Short term, and now, we have the availability to go on. Have different options, go on some trips, go visit our family in Greece. I mean, we were used to, I think our first 5 years, 6 years, we didn't go to Greece to visit our family. No. We couldn't. It was just me and you. It's no time. Yeah, and just so you guys know, all of our family's back home in Greece. It's not, it's just it's my dad, your dad, and my other uncle that's just here. Our dad's sisters, my mom's family, your mom's family, they're all back home. Yep. And so we would go back every year, when we were younger to visit the family, but our first 5, 6 years, we just couldn't. And so I think that's good. Well, cool. Any last parting thoughts? Was that it? Was that good? That was it. Cool. All right, guys. So as you guys see, we got, like I said, episode 5 under our belt. So wanted to, let you guys know, enjoyed chatting with you guys. Obviously, it was awesome kind of introducing. I know you guys see a lot of me, and, I do a little bit of the kind of the marketing side of the business, but, the secret, the person
that's not behind the camera, that puts a lot of time and effort into the business, that is a huge part of the reason why we're growing, is this guy right here next to me. And so, it's awesome to be in business with family, which a lot of times can be difficult, you know, but honestly, like, it's been pretty, it's pretty simple for us. We don't argue. We've never had, any ill words. We're very respectful of each other and, what we're trying to do. And so, we're just two young kids just looking to, make a name for ourselves and make a dent in the paper world here in the Charlotte and, surrounding areas, Winston, Greensboro, Hickory. Sure. So, but,
when we say young, we mean young. Like, we would go, I remember another story, going to our first paper show. And
this is funny. Where was it at?
I think it was in Ashboro was one, or
I don't remember where it was.
Pinehurst, that's it. Down in Pinehurst, and we went to the trade show. We got our little name tags, Albemarle paper, Nick, John, and we were walking around.
No one knew us.
Yeah, no one knew us. We were walking around, and they were like, Albemarle paper. What are y'all doing here? We're like, who are y'all? We're like, well, we just got started. We're getting started looking for, trying to learn some of the products and stuff. They're like, oh, cool. Who's y'all's boss? Who started the company? Like, that's us. We're the owners. They're like,
no one believed it.
They're like, you guys are the owners? We're like, yeah.
No one believed it.
Because everybody was in their, late 40s and older, and they 40s, were like
50s, 60s.
And I'm a 19-year-old kid going in there. They're like, what is this kid doing here? And that was just, I remember that every time I
remember getting, remember the gift cards? They give us like $100 of gift cards or $150 of gift cards, and we went to the gift shop and we were fired up. So we got a T-shirt, a polo, a mug. I think we each got a polo and a mug, and we were so fired up that we got $150 worth of free stuff from the Pinehurst, country club or whatever the venue was at. But
yeah, so that was. I remember
it's been a journey. We had a blast, and so it's been awesome hanging with you guys here for just a really quick, short podcast for number 5. And so, like I said, appreciate the support. Appreciate you guys watching and listening. If you guys are watching this on our YouTube channel or our social medias, or if you guys are listening to this, maybe in the car, like I said, this is a podcast that we are going to bring you guys, and I'm going to try to get you guys a new episode every single week on entrepreneurship, business ownership, our thoughts, our experiences, maybe tips that we think can help you in your journey as you guys go out there and, potentially, start your own gig, whatever it is. Doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be in the restaurant business, because just so you guys know, success principles are universal, right? Preparing, being patient, having a work ethic, being humble, being positive. These are all things that no matter what industry, if you're in tech, if you're in startup, if you're in insurance, doesn't matter. Right. Car sales, this is what it takes to succeed at the highest levels. And obviously it takes some commitment and focus and things like that. But super pumped to have John on here, just so you guys know who else is a part of APS and what we're doing. And like I said, we'll have some more episodes coming soon. But you guys check us out, follow us, throw us a like, subscribe to our YouTube channel. I want to kind of build that up a little bit. Follow us on Instagram and Facebook. But that is it. You guys have an absolutely awesome day. Thank you guys.
Take care.